And this is Module 2, Part 3, Targeting Customers. Hope you guys are crushing it, kicking some butt, and getting through these modules like it's your job. Zach here again. Remember last time we learned a ton about customer discovery, figuring out what questions to ask, who to ask them, the feedback checklist, cold calling, cold emailing, the templates. And now let's get into it. Where do we target those customers? So, first, you got to understand the problem. The problem definition is very simple. Once you understand the pain point that you're solving, you can really start to get an idea of who your customer will be. So we've been talking over the last few modules about what people are going through, what pain points and what problems they're having in their businesses, what's keeping them up at night, where they're getting their biggest stress. You hear a lot of times that the 80-20 rule, where 80% of their job is very easy, but the 20% creates 80% of their headaches. That's where we want to be focused on, folks. Without solving a problem, there's no reason for someone to become your customer. We want to find those people that have that problem and create solutions so that they can give you guys money, so that they can pay you through Stripe or PayPal or cash or checks or wire it, whatever it may be. Find the problems so that you can solve them. Because once you understand the pain point you're solving, you can start to get an idea of who your customer will be. You want to create value. Simply creating something cool like a consumer-based app or a nifty website might not solve a problem. You must find the trigger point. You must find the trigger point and present the solution. Talk to people, ask what they struggle with, and find these pain points. We've gone through a ton of customer discovery so that you can figure out exactly what people are going through. So, lead generation. How can you find people? How can you fill up that sales pipeline? Where do you find these people? Well, we are going to talk about a couple of things today, and we are excited about it. One of the biggest things at Hatch that we have done, one of the biggest things that we've seen create not only branding, but awareness and cash, sales, revenue, are lead generating events. So what do you mean by that? Well, you might have heard of meetup.com or Eventbrite or maybe your Chamber of Commerce. Those are what we're going to call a lead generation event. A lead generating event. Something that likely is free to free to host to the individual, and in return you're getting something from them. Likely an email or an opportunity at a later time. So, what we saw is that when you make this event exclusive, it really forces people to want to come and entices them to be a part of something that they couldn't be a part of before. So what do we mean by that? Well, in our case, roughly 4 years ago, we were trying to produce more leads to our web development consultancy. And we said, how can we find more people that might fit the bill? Well, as entrepreneurs ourselves, the idea was if we can create an event and bring those higher ups from those companies to our office, we are going to become the experts in our fields and have that authority status to really show off ourselves, where before we would have to be kind of that minion in the crowd. So create an exclusive invite group. Find or be the cheerleader. Now that can be someone that's you, or that can be someone else. So our goal here, or what we wanted to do here, was to create an event around entrepreneurship-led things. So how to start a company, how to grow a company, how to hire, how to fire, how to do sales, how to do anything in the early stage business process that we could basically leverage other people's networks with to grow our own. And so in our case, Find or Be a Cheerleader was myself and a few other people that were really excited about the things that we were doing. So you want to create an email invite for these people. Basically, it can be as simple as going to your calendar and adding people to it that you want to come to it, and ask them to join by simply signing up. I'm sure you've seen it on your mail client. You just ask them to join, and they say yes, no, or maybe, and then just simply say in there, if you want to invite people, simply reply back with who, and we'll add them. Nothing costs you money there. It's super simple. You're just sending out an email saying, join us if you can. But be specific as to who can come. This is where you're exclusive, right? If anyone can come, then it's just another event. But if it's exclusive and you can only come if your colleague invites you to, or only if we invite you to, now it becomes something that is enticing people and makes them want to be a part of. And once you have your event, or once you're thinking about what event to have, you have to have amazing content. If your event sucks, no one will talk about you, no one will ever come back, no one will ever do anything that you ever want them to do. It's simple. Amazing content, because your event cannot suck. If your event sucks, no one will do anything that you want them to do about it. So why do you do this? Because it brings prospects to you. It gives you authority status. Remember, you can be an early stage company, but start bringing people to you, and you're basically faking it till you make it. And that's okay, because you are giving off the perception that you are a lot further along than you are. And so you want to get that authority status so that those people that may do business with you are like, wow, this is amazing. Look what they've already produced. Now, what if they do this for me, right? What if they can do this for this event? Imagine what they can do for me in software, or in this product, or in this service, whatever that may be. This brings an aggressive pipeline full of leads. And it gives you the opportunity to fill that pipeline so that you can be growing into it into the years, months, days, weeks to come. So how do you reach out to these people? My guess to you, or my guess right now, I'm going to make one assumption. I don't like to make a lot of assumptions, but my guess is that of these 4 elements, you probably have at least one of them. And we can say that business cards is that one. Now, business cards can be 2 different things. Number 1, the physical card that you get when you go to a networking event, or you're in the grocery store, or you just happen to meet someone, you get those business cards. But it also could be your LinkedIn account. So think about those business cards that you can go through, and in the next part of this, we'll go over exactly how to use that. Your social networks, email campaigns, and finally, making it super, super, super easy for someone to say yes. So we'll start with business cards. Now, this is something that has been tremendous for me. How many times have you met someone and then done absolutely nothing with the business card that you collected? My guess is you're raising your hand right now, because the majority of people I talked with, or have talked with throughout the years, they take the card and then they throw it away. And they don't necessarily throw it away, but they might just put it in a stack full of other business cards. Well, find that stack of business cards, and I want you to break them up and take an inventory of who you want to target. Who is this event going to be for? Or who are the type of people that you want to do business with? Break them up into they're in this or they're not. And then take the ones, so we've removed the ones that are not the ones that you want to work with. Now you have this other group. Now only split those again, and only keep the ones that you can grow immediately. We will call those hot leads. Grow only the ones that you can grow immediately. Keep the ones that you can grow immediately. So these are people that you probably have a decent relationship with, or that you can call up or email and get a response with, or that you maybe just met with. You don't want your time to be wasted on the ones that won't convert. And some of these won't convert anyway, and that's fine, but you're trying to basically make a hypothesis of those that you think are in your target market, and those that you may have a relationship with, that you then can communicate with and say, hey, please come to this event. So You can create a spreadsheet, or you can just keep them in kind of the manual way and just keep a stack of cards warm, meaning this is who we think is going to show up. That's hot, do the hot. Warm will be the ones that you're teeter-tottering, and then cold, we've thrown into a completely different room, throw them in the pool, do whatever, don't really throw them in the pool. So your goal is to pinpoint potential customers to attend your event or be your customer at a later time, and then divide them into relationships and opportunities. Hot, warm, and cold. Everything is about relationships. So you got your list together? Great. So next, we're going to take advantage of your social accounts. So you might not have every social media account in the world. You might just have a LinkedIn. You might have a Twitter. You might have a Facebook. You might have all of them. You might have a Pinterest. It doesn't matter. Which one do you want to take advantage of? That's what you should focus on right now. You have already a network of people that you're friends with, or that you follow, or that you are likely to engage with when you provide them something of interest or education. So how can you leverage that platform to your advantage? You can't expect to sell all this on your first interaction. Instead, the goal is to educate people to do this. Typically, it takes 6 interactions for someone to make a transaction financially with someone. So we're trying to educate first and then hard sell at a later time. But how can you leverage your social media to get what you want out of it? And this is a great example, because all we're trying to do is find those people that are on our platforms that we have relationships with and getting them to attend a small little meetup on a specific topic. That's all we're trying to do right now. We're not trying to sell them anything. We're trying to engage with them and get them to come to our exclusive educational meetup. We are not trying to sell them anything. If you try and sell them anything, guess what they will do? Probably ignore you or straight up say no. Email. How easy have you made it for your visitors to find you, give data in exchange for data, and understand who you are and what you do? So, what we want to do in this case is we want to ask for an email in return for to attend the event. What are you willing to give up in return for the visitor's email? So you can go to meetup.com, you can go to Eventbrite, you can do a simple just email to email back and forth. But what you want to do is take this information and make it so that if the person comes to your event, you're getting their email in return for that event. So have you ever been to a store and it says, sign up for an email newsletter? It's the exact same thing. You're giving them something in return for their email. In our case, it's going to be an event. And so what we want to do is to get that information so that we can communicate with them throughout time and through educational ways, so that when they are ready to purchase, they know that we are the authority in our industry. So to recap it all together, this is the end of module number 2. You guys have crushed it. You guys have been doing awesome. You are making huge steps. So define the problem that you are trying to solve. Create value for customers, generating leads and reaching out. Focus on the relationships. And as we just went over, social media and emails. How can you leverage your already existing brands when launching your new venture? Module number 3 is coming up. The meat and bones of your business, that's coming up. That's all about how to educate, how to create the content that we have been talking so much about, and how to get it out there, how to market it, how to get people to see it. Module 2 is over. You have done an amazing job. Give yourself a pat on the back, clap it up. Go email 3 of your friends, tell them you're through module 2. Module 3 is coming up, the meat and bones of your business, because you know what kind of business you're ready to start. You guys did awesome. Until module 3, this is the path to your 6-figure venture.